Hello everyone, dear viewers. My name is Natalia. I've been a lash and brow lamination specialist since 2020. And in this video, I'll show and explain how you can do a full brow lamination procedure completely on your own at home, and most importantly, using only materials that are available on any marketplace. I'll explain all the chemistry behind the process and share the finer points of the procedure. So even if you've already trained as a lash or brow lamination specialist before, make sure to watch this video all the way to the end. Here you'll find a lot of useful and valuable information that, unfortunately, isn't always shared even in paid courses. Lash and brow lamination solutions are designed to work exclusively on the hairs, not on the skin. So before you start the procedure, apply a rich cream to the skin around your brows using a cotton swab. When it comes to applying the first solution, I personally prefer a fluffy, lightweight makeup brush if I have the option. Of course, you can use anything to apply it, a cotton swab, a plastic applicator, but a fluffy makeup brush, if you have one on hand, is the best choice. That way, you can apply the solution as much as possible to the hairs and minimize contact with the skin. This way, you'll avoid all the unpleasant side effects that can happen: no redness, no flaking after such careful application with a brush. The processing time for the solutions is chosen individually for your hair. You can also determine it through trial and error. If you don't yet know how many minutes you need to leave on the solutions from this particular brand, then start with the minimum recommended time. That's 2 minutes. And if that's not enough, add half a minute or a minute at a time, checking the hair's readiness. Pay close attention to this step. This is the key, most common mistake beginners make. They leave the solution on too long, and the hairs just break off and fall out. Cover your brows tightly with plastic wrap and start timing. For my work, I always choose products in small volumes. I started out with all sorts of different brands, tried a lot of things, but in terms of price to quality ratio, especially quality, these products have made me happiest in recent years. These are
LASHBROWGYM brand,
because they can even tame coarse, bristle-like men's brow hair. There's a video about this on this channel. You can check it out. You'll just see that there's a man in the frame. Open it up and watch. Most likely that's the one. The second point, which is really important for me, is that I don't always do, say, 35 laminations a day. Sometimes I do more extensions, sometimes more laminations. It varies. And I buy these products in a huge pack like this. Well, how huge is it, really? It seems kind of small, but there are 3 sets of 3 products inside. So, there are 3 sachets of the first product, 3 sachets of the second, and 3 sachets of the third. This is really convenient if you're doing it at home, because every time you open a new sachet from the same set, you get a fresh new product that hasn't lost its potency. But if you buy it in a jar, 5 milliliters, 10, sometimes even 12, or in a tube, once you open it, air gets in and the countdown starts. Right? So after a month or 2, or maybe a bit longer for some people, these products just stop working. And every time, or rather, for every unit of time that the opened product sits there, it loses its potency. That's just a natural process. Our timer has gone off. Now we remove the film and thoroughly wipe off all of the first product from our eyebrow hairs using cotton pads. Only now, after we've already treated the brows with the first solution, do we apply the styling glue for brow lamination, shaping the brows into the desired form and styling them the way we want. Now, on the brows styled into the desired shape, apply the second solution so that it completely covers the entire brow from root to tip. Cover them with film at the seam as well and start timing. The processing time is either the same as for the first solution, or you can add 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. We've completed the brow lamination procedure. Now you can apply the final step, solution number 3, and leave it under the film for 5 minutes as well. Or you can apply the final solution and simply leave it on your brows until your next wash. Both options are very good. Or, after removing the second solution, you can tint your brows with any dye you're used to, but use a lower strength oxidant, either the first or the third. Let me remind you that using henna on laminated brow hairs is not recommended. If you choose to tint, apply the third solution after removing the dye from your hairs. I'd also like to remind you of the main rules for laminating lashes and brows. First, after the lamination procedure, it is not recommended to get your lashes and brows wet. In practice, this rule, doesn't really lead to any serious consequences. So, if you get a lash lamination and then go to the pool half an hour later, most likely nothing bad will happen. But there is that 1% where something does go wrong. So my personal recommendation is, don't get them wet and don't expose them to heat, meaning, don't use hot water and don't, for example, sit in a sauna or anything like that for the next 12 hours after lamination. Also, my dear viewers, let me remind you that the hairs on our lashes and brows change on average every 30 days. This is related to each person's individual metabolism speed, but on average it's 30 days. So if you had a lamination procedure today, you'll only be able to repeat it in 1 month. If you repeat the procedure earlier, you risk over-drying the hairs that haven't had a chance to renew yet. They'll become brittle, fragile, and might just break off, and you'll have to say goodbye to them. So this is pretty important, right? So, look, if all your brows have already grown out, and maybe just 2 or 3 hairs are still laminated, okay, you can go ahead and do the procedure. If your brows are still holding their shape halfway, half of the hairs are still flexible, and half are no longer flexible, then you can only repeat the procedure when about 95% of your brow hairs have grown out. If you still have any questions after watching this video, if something was unclear, or maybe there were some topics that weren't fully covered that you heard here, write your questions in the comments below this video. I will personally read them and answer myself. So don't hesitate, ask your questions. It's free. And of course, if you liked it, found it valuable, or learned something new as a professional, give it a like.